What's up, Nate? I watched your video, loved it. Rapid fire answering your questions. To pin a comment, you just go to the comment section and there's those three little dots on the side. You click it and it says pin, and that'll keep it at the top of the comments. That way, you know, when you get like thousands of comments, that one will be first. So the question about YouTube and Twitter handles was probably the most, how do I put this? It made you seem kind of old. No offense. I'm just kidding, sorta. So if you put like an @ whatever in your description on YouTube, that's not gonna send people to Twitter. Everything's platform specific. You do get more than 3 thumbnails. Well, you get 3 thumbnails that are already, just baked in there by YouTube, but you can upload a custom thumbnail, but you have to verify your account first, and you and I need to talk about that. If you finish a video and there's a problem with it and you need to re-upload it, there's really no other way to do that besides deleting it and uploading it again. And unfortunately, you lose the views, you lose the comments. So moral of the story is, if there's an error, if it's a small one, let it go. We're gonna have more videos. If it's a huge error, take it down, sacrifice the views. So I've done some videos in the past before YouTube, some of which you've seen, some of which you might not have seen, but I'm new to this YouTube thing, and this whole like talking to the camera thing is really weird. Sometimes I watch footage after I record it and I just look mean and I look like I don't care. So I try to like smile and be happy and be like, my normal self, but sometimes that comes off as disingenuous, so I don't know. I'll develop some sort of style, some sort of personality. I'm not giving up on it. What you said about knowing your why is huge. It's huge. I've got a lot going on right now. I've got this YouTube channel, I got my main channel. I recently quit my job to start my own company. So my life of structure and routines is just gone. Now it's just blank white space in my calendar. And knowing my why is huge because it directly links to motivation. So knowing my why on my main channel, it's really twofold. It's number one is there's tutorials. There's graphic design tutorials, but there's also kind of career advice and motivational things. And the why for that is, I didn't go to design school. I learned all this stuff on my own. I scoured the internet for resources and lessons and tutorials, and I got that education for free. And my why is to bring all this knowledge into one place that I can deliver to people who are starting out. Because I know how discouraging it can be when you're starting to do something new, especially something like design that seems like it's kind of an insider's club. It could be discouraging to feel like you're not good. So my why for that channel is basically to tell people you're allowed to do things. You're allowed to stretch yourself. It's okay if you don't know everything, because you'll pick it up. And my why for this channel is basically to come alongside you, someone who's also starting a YouTube channel, and just admitting, hey, we don't know it all, so we're gonna figure it out. And if we put our heads together, when you learn something, you tell it to me. When I learn something, I show you, and we just get that much better, that much faster. And also, just for anyone who stumbles across this channel, who's watching, just to know that you don't have to be great. Like, we're not that good at this. I'm pretty bad at this. But it's gonna be fun to look back and see how far we've come. So for me, my why directly feeds into my motivation. And I've heard, motivation is like this gas tank that, your willpower, it just depletes. And when you get to the bottom, then you're kind of burnt out and you have to rejuvenate. But I've also heard that motivation is like a muscle. You have to build it up, and the more you use it, the stronger it gets. And I think that's a better scenario, because when you work out, you still get to a point where you're tired and you have to rejuvenate. But the more you work out, the better in shape you get. And I think that's what motivation is like. The harder you work, the more you do, the easier it comes, but you also need to rest, and you also need balance. So motivation is like a muscle that you strengthen, but it also needs its time to restore. So something a little more practical. I got this gimbal, and once I learn how to use it, I'll show it to you. Basically, to calibrate the camera on it, I needed a way to kind of balance it so it stands on its own. So people suggested this thing. It's called the Manfrotto tripod. I don't remember how much this was. You can get this for like 20 bucks at Walmart. And I got this thing and I fell in love with it immediately, because I put my camera right on it, like not with the gimbal. And I was like, wow, this is really, really easy and lightweight. Because I also have this Joby GorillaPod, which is great. It's also more expensive. This thing is like 50 bucks with this little ball head joint, which is great because it's got like this level on it. And also it's just like an easy, like quick release kind of thing. So you can take your camera off real easily. And this is great because I can use it a lot for, doing kind of like vlog style stuff. But I was looking at this thing when I got it, and it's got this little button here where you can like move the ball head around. There's no level on it, but if I go like this, I can easily vlog off of this, and I can move this ball head around to get the right angle. And it's a lot lighter. Like if I'm hiking, you know, I could throw this in a jacket pocket or whatever, and it's just so much easier. But I will say, this GorillaPod's awesome, because I went hiking a few weeks ago. I have a YouTube video that I took in the woods, and I was wrapping this thing around logs, you know, putting it on rocks, and it's really great and really rugged. So I don't know which one I'm gonna keep in my bag at all times. This is very tempting because it's so light and I can vlog. This is tempting because it's more versatile. I don't know. Well, what do you think? Do you have any gear conundrums that you're going through? Like, do you have two pieces of gear that you're trying to decide between? Maybe one works better, but one's a little cheaper, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Tell me. Well, that's all I got for today. Let me know what's going on with Charlotte. Nate, I'll see you later.